All right, peace world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment. As you can see, we're getting into some bite down boxing talk tonight with a very special guest. We'll get to that, and we'll get to him in just a second. Um, it's my first time kind of in the new year. I spent some time trying to upgrade the equipment and whatnot and get rolling in a different direction and make sure my interviews were a lot better and whatnot. That's what I needed to see. So I was just making sure the stream was doing pretty well. And I hate to take up a fighter's time and after the fact find out that we didn't, the audio or the video was trash or anything. So anyway, let me bring in the first guest in 2021, a dude that I'm very excited to talk about and to get to know and to share to people. I'm not really waiting around to see who pulls into or who pulls up in the chat and whatnot. The video will be out there. He'll be on Showtime in a couple of weeks, and we'll get to it. But let me bring in Ra'eese, the Beast, Aleem.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Happy New Year to you, man.
Happy New Year, 2021.
Did you get anything in special for the holidays?
No, my holidays was just cool, just low key, chill. Nothing special.
That kind of you kind of come across as that type.
Well, I mean, I got a big fight coming up, so it ain't gonna be no excuses, to step out and party or kick it with some females or whatever, So it's just all about business.
Was this the first year in your career where you had a fight right on the opposite side of the holiday season and it put that kind of constraint on you, or?
No. It's not the first time. It's happened before, so I'm kind of in familiar territory.
Okay. So look, man, you're from Muskegon, Michigan originally, but you've moved out to the Vegas to train and everything, correct?
Yeah.
So just trying to look up some stuff on Muskegon a little bit. And I'm here in the Midwest, like I said, I'm down in Ohio, but have family up in Detroit and pretty familiar with the Mid-State and whatnot. But one thing I didn't realize, just Googling Muskegon, is that they have a lot of beach shoreline. Are you familiar with the beaches in Muskegon?
It's Lake Michigan. That's like it's a go-to. Lake Michigan, especially being out in Muskegon, it's not like a whole lot of things to do out in the summertime, but they do got the beach. So yeah.
Okay. So is that something that you ran around with or got out to a lot back in the day when growing up there, or not?
Yeah. Growing up, we used to go swimming all the time. We would go to Lake Michigan and just a few other beaches, but Lake Michigan was the main one. So I learned how to swim, from a young age, just being in the water and stuff like that. So it's not a whole lot of stuff to do, but the beach out there is pretty cool.
Okay, all right. When's the last time you've been back in Michigan?
It's probably some months ago, about 4 or 5 months ago. Went out to just visit some friends.
Okay. What I was mentioning earlier was let's see if this is gonna fix this real quick. Something is bugging me. Can you say something for me real quick?
Can you hear me? Check.
All right. Still coming through my computer. But anyway, well, the thing is, I've been up to Michigan all the years, all through high school and whatnot and grade school and whatnot. But my family didn't do anything outside of Detroit. And years later, I got up there for my job and got out to some different parts of Michigan and was up north. So I can't even think of the name of that place now, but it had a beach. And I was like, damn, who knew you had to leave the Midwest to find a beach? And I can't remember the name of that town. New Holland, maybe?
I know Holland.
Maybe Holland. Yeah. One of those. But I just was blown away. But it wasn't in season or anything. But I was like, this ain't bad. But like I said, anyway, I just saw the beach that Muskegon has the largest amount of beach shoreline. I thought that was pretty interesting. So.
Yeah. Summertime, it's a go-to.
Got you. All right, man. So let's get into your background a little bit, man. I was talking to your PR guy and whatnot, and I was joking with him about it sounded like a little bit about like Roy Jones Jr.'s father in a way, but did your relationship with your pops, did that help or kind of force you on down the road to where you are now and pursuing a career in, as a professional fighter?
Well, ultimately, I am who I am because of my pops. Everything that I went through my childhood, into like adulthood and everything like that. Everything that he, physically abusive, mentally abusive, all that stuff. He's the one who brought me into the boxing gym. So who knows if I would have been boxing if it wasn't for him. So.
Okay. Did he have a background in boxing himself, or?
Not in boxing, but he was like a 6th-degree black belt in karate.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so he got us into karate, and I got my black belt, and then after that, just started boxing. So.
Okay. Okay. Now you did this black belt. You achieved this by age 12 or something, I'm hearing.
Yeah, yup. It was like 12, yup. 12 turning 13. No,
So
I just
what?
said it was 12 turning 13. But yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what was what was his role in? I mean, did you like karate? Did you get into it right away, or?
Shit, I loved karate. I was in the karate gym at the age of 3, so we used to go around the tournaments and doing katas and just everything, fighting people from different clubs and stuff like that. So karate was really fun. I loved karate. And then once that was over, it was just, what else? Okay, went to the boxing gym and that just kind of stuck.
Now, with your with your boxing game being what it is at this point, have you ever given any thought, of MMA?
Yeah, yeah. I would love to compete in MMA at a high level, against somebody who actually has a name with something on the line. That'd be fun. I'm a competitor, so that'd be really fun.
Now, do you still have? I mean, do you still have some of those skills then for the rest, the other side of it, the
Yeah, I
mixed
mean, it's stuff.
aspect of it?
It's stuff you never forget, So it's just pretty much doing it. You know how to do it, muscle memory, whatever. But you just got to do it. So it wouldn't be hard to pick it back up.
Got you. What's your so with that and you being from Michigan, we also have Clarissa Shields from up in Flint, who's now dabbling, getting involved with mixed martial arts and is signed up with the PFL, I believe, and whatnot. Just could you give us some insight on on what her chances is to make that transition? And she's talking about she's kind of keeping it to about a year worth of training and whatnot in MMA. Just your thoughts on where she can go with this thing and what might be the challenges for her.
Oh, I definitely think she could be one of the best. She is in the sport of boxing. She's a competitor, and she's hungry. And so there's some people who say they want to do some things, but their actions ain't really lining up. So she talking big and she walking big. I definitely think she could be one of the best at doing it. For
What's
sure.
what's one thing that you see kind of being if she can achieve or pick up, you know, this one thing, she'll at least be able to get out there and compete, and adding in her stand up and whatnot.
I mean, it's obviously the ground game. That's going to be the biggest obstacle. You have to get the ground game because like everybody knows that she's a top fighter. Nobody's going to want to stand up, so they're going to try to go to the ground. So it's like that's the biggest obstacle you have to overcome, and then you have to understand how to do it the right way.
Okay. Okay. I mean, is there now in avoiding being taken to the ground, is that something that she can pick up, to at least, I know they wouldn't match her difficult for starters, but is there some part of that technique or is there some techniques involved with that she could at least have a decent or handle on to at least be able to compete out the gate?
Oh yeah, I mean the most basic one I believe is called like a sprawl. You just kind of kick your legs out and fall down or whatever. But yeah, I mean like she should be able to pick up the basics real easy. So I don't think she would really have a problem with that. It's just if I were her, I would expect to go to the ground.
Right.
Because that's obviously how they're gonna come at her. So
Right. Right. So you start picking up boxing. What kind of fueled the transition away from karate and whatnot, and more so into boxing?
Well, my dad took me up there to the boxing gym, and I just started going off on them. But like my brothers and sisters, we all were doing things, you know. So like I was the athlete going to boxing. My brothers and sisters, they were going to like piano lessons and singing lessons and stuff like that. But then there came a time to where my pops was just too busy, and then I couldn't go to the boxing gym. But my boxing trainer, Terry Markowski, he would come out and pick me up, and we lived probably like 30 minutes away, you know. So he pick me up, take me to the gym, drop me off, and all that.
Okay. We have one viewer that popped up to the chat, so I'm gonna work into some. I'm gonna work in some of their questions. We have Robbie Garcia in the chat. He's actually stealing some of my thunder, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there since he's interacting with us. And I wanted to do this so that fans could get to know you and whatnot, and you could get that interaction and whatnot. So I'm gonna go on and get to his question, although it was a little bit down my list, but let's jump to it. He says, Ra'eese, can you tell us who are some of the guys you've been sparring with?
Just sparring's been kind of spotty. I've got in with Jesse Magladano, got some good work in with him. Gabriel Flores. I've been in with the twins off and on. Those are some of the more notable fighters and
Okay.
whatnot.
And by the twins, he means Angel and Chavez Barrientos.
Yeah. It's like I kind of forget their names, but yeah.
Just punch them in the face.
No. I mean, it's real good work. Real good work.
Okay. What do you think about the I think he was the younger one, maybe a little taller and slender and whatnot, but him getting stopped a couple weeks ago. What was your thoughts on that?
It's very unfortunate, that he took a loss early in his career, but he stepped up to the plate just like I did early in my career, and I fought an undefeated fighter. It's part of the game. He has a bright future ahead of him. It's just don't get discouraged and come back stronger than ever. It's just it's part of the game. It happens, but he has a bright future, and I definitely think he should just keep doing what he's doing and just tighten up some things.
Got you. So, as you were making that transition, well, who started influencing you and your style in boxing once you did start shifting over, to focusing on boxing?
I kind of just developed my own style because as soon as I started boxing, I already knew how to fight because like I had my black belt in karate. So like at the time there was an amateur kid in the gym. He's the best out of little kids. So we spar. I beat him up, and I didn't even know the basics. And then that's how I met my original coach, Terry Markowski. And then he taught me the basics, and just kind of worked from that. Just over time, it's just kind of transformed into what I am.
Got you. Is there any aspects of uh, karate and whatnot that helps you in the boxing world?
I feel like my footwork, being able to go in and out, step, pivot, being unbalanced and all that. Yeah, I'd say my footwork.
Got you. All right, and we are getting ready to head to the boxing stuff. I mean, I was kind of giving some people a chance to get into the live stream and whatnot, and then also, like I said, I wanted to introduce you to people. So Mr. K said hi from London. Hope everyone is well. We are. What's up to the UK? Good to hear from you, Mr. K. So man, I also was in talking to your PR person. He mentioned this wild story and how you ended up in Vegas, man. Can you elaborate on that? When what influenced you to head out to Vegas and the details of that decision?
Man, it was tough. Like I said, I after my like third fight, I fought a undefeated fighter, and then after that, nobody would fight me. So then I ended up getting signed with Cameron Duncan, thinking my career is gonna like take off. I'm good, like because all the fighter's supposed to do is train, focus on the training, perform, all that. So I had a couple fights. I won, obviously. And then just my career went stagnant. It was like 2 years, 2.5 years without a fight. So I'm a long-term type thinker, and I'm just like, shit, I gotta make a move. I gotta do something, you know. So I saved up some money, I made some plans, and decided to move to Vegas. And you know how it is, you know, you tell some family or you tell some friends, and they're like looking out the side of their eye, like, oh, okay, like you're gonna do this and that. And it's like, you know, it is what it is. I know what I'm about. I'm a bet on me, and that's what I did, you know. So I didn't have no family, no friends, no support system, just a whole new city with ambition and drive. So I hit the ground running. I didn't move to Vegas just to, you know, fuck around with the chicks and this and that and gamble, you know. So I hit the ground running. I was training myself for like a year and a half out here. And then I had an opportunity to fight an undefeated fighter, you know, because I've been trying to fight people, just nobody would, you know, step up to the plate. And that's when I fought Marcus Bates, you
Okay.
know, back in his backyard. You know, I dominated that fight. Got signed with King's Promotion and Marshall Kaufman. You know, we were in talks with a lot of other promotion companies, but they're dragging their feet. Top Ranks dragging their feet. Golden Boys dragging their feet, and it's like, yo, I got to make something happen. So I did that. Got with Prince Ranch Boxing with Greg Hanley to manage me, and it was just the domino effect. Just things start clicking. You know, nobody told me to do it. This everything came from me, and I wouldn't I wouldn't be here if I didn't follow like my heart. So yeah.
Gotcha. Any interesting opponents in the amateurs? I saw you had a fight with Raynell Williams, Damon Allen, Darwin Price, with some names that stood out to me. Anybody else that you crossed paths with?
Kevin Rivers, Ernie Garza, Eric De Leon.
Oh, okay. Also up in from up in Michigan.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, okay. Mr. K said, Ra'eese, that's the way ultimately when you're in the ring, it's just you, believe in yourself first, respect to you for keeping it real. Um, so what's your thoughts, man? You helped bring back Showtime Boxing last year when they had their first show in the into the pandemic when they came back with the what was that, August 1st, I believe?
Yeah. Yep.
With,
August 1st.
with Angelo Leo. You ended up not facing Tremaine Williams, who was elevated up into the main event, but that's who you were supposed to fight, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Ended up having a rematch with Marcus Bates. Looked phenomenal that night, I thought. Excellent performance. But just what's your thought now on helping launch Showtime's 2021 calendar with being
I'm excited.
on this?
You know, I'm blessed and fortunate to be able to fight on that platform. And you know, the beginning of 2020. You know, I love Showtime. Those guys. You know, fighting on that stage is it's amazing. You know, so I definitely want to show up and show out. And yeah, I'm glad. You know, I just say words can't really explain it.
What's the relief or the difference? You know, just like you said, you've been at what is that 2300 Arena or something in Philadelphia. You've had some fights, but when you are a prospect getting into that contender stage and you have a fight on one of the major networks, man, what's the impact of that on allowing you to focus or train correctly, or just how does that help you out on fight night?
Well, I mean, for me, I feel like I should have always been on that stage, you know, from my first fight till now, you know. So when I step in there, it's just like I just feel like I belong. You know, it's kind of like what they say, fake it till you make it. Except, you know, I feel like this is the platform and the stage for me to display my skills.
Right. Any sense of relief as far as like just security, no issues with being paid, fight week it has its structure to it. Is that any kind of benefit to you?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there is a benefit, you know, when you do fight on the bigger platforms and whatnot. There's more structure. You know, weigh-ins is like on time, and you know, physicals or this and that. Everything's kind of more structured and just taken care of. Versus fighting at some places like the 2300 arena, you'll probably run into some hiccups, you know, and it's going to just be a headache.
Got you, got you. So like you said, with you getting that fight in August, looking great, getting the win, um, being the lead-in fight to Angelo Leo and Tremaine Williams, and kind of being this, it's not a formal tournament at 122 pounds, but they're grouping you guys together and kind of giving hints at what could be down the road. What have you been doing since then in terms of staying in shape, staying sharp? When did this opportunity, when did you start getting wind that you could be back in at the beginning of the year? How have you been feeling the time since we last saw you?
Well, I was told I was supposed to be fighting in December, so that's kind of what I was hoping for, but there was no real talk, so I just kind of I've been in the gym obviously, but I wasn't going super hard, just trying to maintain, and then I kind of got the call like, okay, it's gonna be January, blah 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 blah. So I implemented like 3 days into my workout regimen. I did that probably 3 times out the week, you know. So yeah, camp's been good. I've probably had what 5, maybe 6 weeks of
Oh,
camp.
okay. So are you boxing full time?
Yeah,
Nothing else? Okay. All
yeah,
right.
train.
Um, and who's your team? You mentioned Prince Ranch being with them. That's for your management. You
Yeah,
still
Prince boxing. Yeah,
and then King's Promotions is your promoter?
yeah. Marshall Kaufman and his promotion.
Okay. And then who training under who right now?
Bobby McRoy.
Okay.
He's based out here in Vegas.
Okay. All right. All right. So can you help me out with understanding like your process, the team discussion on this fight right here? I mean, Vic Pasillas is both of you guys are kind of red hot at 122. Very skilled guys. Great performance from him. He came back on FS1, I believe, in September. Had a great fight against Ramphis Encarnacion. But you get his name, and the reality of it is that based on the what could have should have maybe happened when you came back in August, right now you realistically could be fighting for a world title instead of facing Casillas in this very fight that I expect to be an excellent fight. So when you see that's the name, how do you guys process in taking that fight? Because sometimes some guys don't have the luxury of sitting around picking and choosing or lessening the risk of anything. This is a very competitive, a very tough fight, and I mean, and honestly, like I said, with Angelo Leo and Stephen Fulton being up in the main event on January 23rd, I don't see a lot of drop off between you guys and the co-main event.
Right. Yeah. Well, I want to fight the best right now. I feel like Vic, he's one of the best. I'm gonna beat him, and then it's just flip of the coin. Angelo and Fulton. I'm not ducking and dodging any fighter. I want the top fights right now. I want a world title fight. That's what I want. My last fight was a world title eliminator fight. In the sport of boxing, every time you step in the ring, you have to prove yourself. So this fight will be no different. I have to step in, get the win, prove myself, and move on to the world title fight.
What was the any reluctance, to accept it, or any risk that you guys talked through and going on and accepting that fight, or was there a second option out there for you, or was this just it's Vic? Okay, we got Vic. Let's go.
Well, it was just we got an opponent. It's like this is the opponent. So it's like shit. Like I've never really had a option of I got 3 guys, I got 2 guys. I've kind of been like, give me something. Oh shit, okay, let's go. Oh, Tremaine, okay, let's go. Oh, Vic, all right, let's go. Leo, okay. Fulton, let's go. That's just how we do it.
Right. Now, and I was just comparing, looking at, even a situation with like Jerron Ennis. I don't foresee him really facing another highly touted, undefeated welterweight before he's able to get into the world title picture. He's probably going to fight these guys who already have lost multiple times and know how to lose, and then he'll get his shot. Like I said, right here, right now, you're pretty much fighting a world title fight. I mean,
Right.
so what
Yeah.
do you think thoughts on the reality of that situation?
Exactly. Like, I mean, the world title could very well be on the line. It's just not. But this fight should be considered as that.
Gotcha. You a fan? I mean, growing up in Michigan, you a fan of any other sports? Because I might throw in some sports references here and there to drive home a point, or you just only boxing?
I mean, football. I like football, basketball, but I'm more into football.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Was like this is damn near the equivalent of like a AFC NFC championship game. I mean, there's really no drop off, to the next spot that you're trying to get into. So I commend both of you guys, man, because like I said, some guys get some easier roads to that championship situation. It's guys that fight for the first time for a vacant, title and whatnot. And so it's just interesting to see the differences in how fighters are moved based on, relationships, affiliations, and all that type of stuff. So
yeah,
I'll hit on that. What's your thoughts on Pasillas, man? I mean, you're at listed at 5'6". He's at 5'5". You're 30. He's 28 years old. He's a southpaw. Good amateur careers for both of you guys. Both of you guys are fairly versatile. I checked out the Encarnacion fight with him. Very impressive. I just mentioned you against Marcus Bates in August. Very impressive performance. So what's your how are you sizing Pasillas up?
I think he's a great fighter. Great fighter, fast hands, fast feet, high boxing IQ. I think he's a great fighter. One of the best in the division, which is also why we should fight. I'm one of the best. I'm gonna prove that I am. But yeah, I think he's a real good fighter. Southpaw. I mean, yeah.
Did you get a chance to see that the fight against Encarnacion?
Yeah, I checked it out. It looked good.
What was your takeaway from it? I mean, it seemed like he's a guy that it seemed like Encarnacion started a little slow maybe, and as versatile as Vic is, it seems like you got to be ready to rock as soon as that first bell comes. Give him some stuff to think about.
Well, I mean, I didn't think much about the guy that he fought, Encarnacion, however you say his name. I didn't think much about him, like his fighting style and what he did in certain situations. I didn't think he was any good. He kind of looked like a bum despite having a undefeated record.
Right.
I just didn't think much of him.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, he was 17-0, 13 knockouts, had some decent power.
From overseas, right?
I think he might have been from the Dominican Republic or something, I want to say. But like I said, it really stood out to me, like I said, just as much as your performance against Bates did. Just for the any viewers out there and whatnot, just to kind of also touch base on Pasillas's amateur. We saw him, or he had some fights with Toka Khan Clary, who we were familiar with, Kenny Sims Jr., Luis Feliciano, who I believe is up at 140 now, I think. So like I said, man, you guys it's a hell of a fight coming up. How do you look at it? I mean, as the next step for you, and then with some of the early fights being out here for the first quarter of 2021, where do you think this lands in terms of most anticipated fights and whatnot?
Well, I'm happy to be fighting at the start of the year. 2021, get a win. The start of the year. I don't, I don't really know how to answer the question. It's just, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to compete. I'm ready to win. I want a world title fight. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make that happen. So I'm gonna get the win. I'm gonna get him out the way, and I want to fight ASAP after that. And I'm just fortunate to be able to fight. January 23rd.
You seem to be a pretty confident and positive guy. Did you spend any time whatsoever in the fact that, like I said, you very well could be fighting for a world title fight at this point, but because of the COVID situation and what happened, with when you guys did have your event, it puts an extra step in there for you. How'd you process that?
I process it kind of like it's business. It's just, it's boxing. You just have to prove yourself. That's my takeaway is, I just have to prove myself. And, it just kind of is what it is. I'm happy to be fighting because at two different times in my career, I went 2 years without a fight. So the fact that I took everything into my own hands to make this happen, I'm just I'm blessed to be in this position. So I'm just ready to go.
Does it feel any sense of relief, or let anything less to be concerned about with this being your second trip into the whole bubble situation? We saw Benavidez had some problems, lost his title on the scale and whatnot. And he said he didn't kind of have the freedom he thought he was going to have before he got there and whatnot. So that that was a major setback for him. Anything in your experience that this is just less to worry about going into this for the second time? And then on fight night, performing in that environment, still no fans, is that something that's a plus for you?
Stepping into the bubble can be tough, especially not knowing. My first time out there didn't have a problem. Everything was good. This time around, I kind of have experience from the first time, knowing the process. So this time shouldn't be any different, And then fighting with no fans, it wasn't an issue, Is it a little different? A little bit, but at the same time, it's business. When two warriors are in the ring, you're just focused on fighting, So you're not really worried about all the other noise or anything like that, So it wasn't an issue for me.
Gotcha. I know you can't give away the game plan and whatnot, so I'm not gonna try to ask you that and everything. But what do you think that what do you foresee, or how do you foresee Vic coming out of the gate, and what's he gonna learn about Aleem immediately?
Styles make fights. I can't really say what he's gonna come out and do. Some people told me he's a counter puncher. Some people told me he's a boxer. We'll see. When I step in there and he steps in there, we'll see what he tries to do. I can't, but I think he's gonna see somebody in front of him with faster hands, faster feet, with a high boxing IQ than he has. So how will he overcome that? You got to tune in to find out. But I don't think he'll be able to.
Any concerns with the southpaw, facing the southpaw? You got a decent history with that. You got plans for that? You comfortable with that?
I mean, I've never really had a problem fighting southpaws. I'll adjust. I'll do whatever I have to do to adjust. The last southpaw I stopped, or the last southpaw I fought, I stopped him in the first round. I can't really call it. I'll adjust. It shouldn't be a problem. Never really had a problem with southpaws. It's just it is what it is. I can't really hear you. I think your mic cut out or something froze. Hey yo, I'm gonna have to run. I gotta hop on another little interview. But thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Until next time.